Next method. So this is the last method, that is cross multiplication method. So first and foremost, over here also you have two different equations. That is the general format. So how is it we are going to start and proceed with this? So over here the format is going to be something like x divided by something minus something, which is going to be equal to y divided by is equal to 1 divided by. So this is the format it is going to be. X divided by, you have to multiply something and then deduct and again over here. So it just looks like this. So what is it? See over here, this is what it looks like. Right, but how are we going to remember this? It is very simple. So these are the two equations, general format, right? So first make sure x divided by is equal to y divided by is equal to 1 divided by. Right, so once you do that, what are the coefficients? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. Always make sure you write it in this format only. Suppose if the constant is on your right hand side, make sure you bring that to the left hand side, because you will not forget to change the sign. Right, so once I have got it in this format, first I will be considering only I will be looking into only my coefficient part. To get x, I have to ignore x and consider this y and c. That is b constant, y constant which is my b, and constant which is c. Y's coefficient which is b and a constant c. So to get x, I have to ignore x and consider these two. Now I have to multiply this b1 into c2 minus, I said you have to write something over here, then deduct and fill in something over there also, right? So in the first circle it is going to be b1 deducted by c2 minus, then in the denominator it is b2, right? b2 minus b2 into c2, b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1, right? So this is going to be in your x divided by, you had put something, right? So in x divided by, it is going to be b1 c2 minus b2 c1. So once you have got x, then it is going to be y. So what is it you are going to do for y? So when I am solving for y, I will ignore y. I will ignore y. So next to y, it is going to be c, right? So c1 into, in the denominator you have a2. So c1 a2 minus, I have c2 into a1, c2 a1, right? Y divided by c1 a2 minus c2 a1. Next, I have constant. So to get constant, I have to ignore constant. So I am ignoring constant. So after c, again it starts with a, right? So now it is going to be a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Understood? So this is going to be the format which I'll be getting when I'm using this general format. Once you get that, when you just solve for this and equate with the constant part, you'll easily get the values of x and y. So now, if at all, if we are just going to solve, if we just write like this for a simplification, it is going to be easier. How is it I'm going to show you? So I have to consider two different equations. So this is my equation 1 and equation number 2. So when I'm considered equation number 1 and 2, I said you, it is always very easier for us if we convert this constant, if we keep this constant also on my left hand side. So when I do that, 2x plus y minus 5 is equal to 0, 3x plus 2y minus 8 is equal to 0 is what I'll be getting. So now x, y and 1, I will write like this first. So to get x, what is it I said? Ignore x and write the constants of y. Ignoring x and to write the constants of y, I have coefficients of y, 1, 2, minus 5, minus 8. So 1, 2, minus 5, minus 8 is what I have written first. Okay, x done. The next thing is going to be y. So ignoring y, I have to start with constant part, then come to a part. That is come to a1, a2. So after that, first I have to start with minus 5 minus 8. Already I have this minus 5 and minus 8. I'm not going to repeat that. So after this one, I have to write the coefficient of x, which is 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 is what I will be writing. With this, when you just multiply this, you will be getting the value for y. Then the last thing is I have to write my constant part also. To write my constant part, I have to ignore the constant part and write just the coefficients of it. So for that, I have to start with 2 and 3, which I already have. So what is it remaining? I have to write 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now it is very simple. You have to multiply these two. That is x divided by 1 into minus 8 minus of 2 into minus 5 is equal to y divided by minus 5 into 3 minus of minus 8 into 2 is equal to 1 divided by 2 into 2 minus 3 into 1. So when you just solve for this, you will be getting x divided by, it is just nothing but simplification. Till here you will be knowing how to simplify. So once you have simplified, you have to get the values of x and y. This x has to be equated with constant part and y also has to be equated with constant part. That is, x divided by 2 is going to be equal to 1 upon 1 and y by 1 is equal to 1 upon 1. Just cross multiply this. You will be getting x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. Be it whatever you have. Suppose if you have 2 over here and 3 over here, the value of y is going to be equal to 6. But over here for this solution, it is going to be x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. Right. So with this, we have completed the theory portion of it. Let's start with question and answers. Few 1 mark question followed by 2 marker and 3 marker. So the question is a pair of linear equation in two variables which has common point. So over here it is clearly telling common point and it has one solution. What is it called as? It has only one solution. So if it is having one solution, it is directly consistent pair. Inconsistent pair is something which is having no solution. Right. The next question. The value of k for which the system of equation has infinite number of solution. They have two different equations given. So you have to find out what is going to be the value of k wherein it is going to have infinite number of solution. How do we get infinite solution? According to graphically, something like this is what it is going to be there. So now over here, what value should I put? 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 is what I have. What values should I put to get LHS is equal to RHS? If at all I put 1 for x and for y also 1, will I get 5? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Therefore, the value of x is going to be 1 and value of y is going to be equal to 1. So similarly, 4x plus ky is equal to 10 is what I am having. In the place of x, I will substitute it with 1 plus, I don't know the value of k. In the place of y, I'll substitute it with 1. So 4 plus k is equal to 10. I need to get the value of k. So 10 minus 4, the value of k is going to be equal to 6. Right, this is going to be your 1 mark question. It is just that in your mind only you can calculate. It is not necessary you have to show all this. So it is just for your explanation. In mind only you can just calculate. It is very simple. 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1 is equal to 5. Just add the values of 1 over there and just get that answer. Graphical representation of linear equation. Y minus 5 is equal to 0. Only so much is what they have given. Y minus 5 is equal to 0. Therefore, y is going to be equal to 5. If y is going to be equal to 5, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a line? Is it going to be just a point? Or is it going to be a curve? Or is it none? So none cannot be the answer. Curve also can never be the answer. So now is it a point or a line? It is not a point because you should have two different equations to have a intersection point. Therefore, it is going to be a line. And clearly y is going to be equal to 5. They have given it. So it is going to be a line only. Right. in equation, so in the given general format equation, so equation number 1 and equation number 2, if a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, then the equation is going to represent what line? Go back to your chart. Only one question was given over there, but here we can solve for all the different equation. So when you are comparing with two different equation, and when you are comparing the ratio for the fill-ups over there, the given question was, when you are comparing this, what line is it going to have? So it is going to have a intersecting line. Similarly, if at all, if a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2, but it is not equal to c1 upon c2, then it is going to have a parallel lines. Similarly, if everything is equal, then it is going to have a coincident line. Right. The next question. From here it is going to be a 2-marker question. Half the perimeter of rectangle garden whose length is 4 meter more than its width, which is 36 meter. You have to find the dimension. So what is the question tell? Half the perimeter of the rectangle garden. So over here perimeter is given as 36 meter. And first and foremost, let us consider the value of the length is going to be x. It is a rectangular garden, right? So the length is going to be x, and the breadth and the width is going to be equal to y meter. So now they have said that x plus y is equal to 36, right? We have already know that. According to the question, perimeter is 36 meter. So x plus y is equal to 36. We can easily write. So what is the other thing they have given? Length is 4 more than its width. So first, what is length? X is equal to 4 more than its width, that is y plus 4. This is what I will be getting. So I have to solve for equation. These are the two equations I'll be getting. I can use any method. Now that I know all the three different methods, that is substitution method, elimination and cross multiplication, I can go ahead and solve using any method. Over here, if you just add both the equation, y and y gets cancelled. So 2x is equal to 40. Therefore, x is going to be equal to 20 meter and y is going to be equal to 16 meter. So x we had considered as length and y we had considered it as width. They had asked us to find the dimensions, and here it is. Right. Now next, draw a graph of the equation x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0 and 2x plus 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Determine the coordinates of the vertices of triangle formed by these lines. So first, whenever they ask you for such a type of question, first just draw two boxes. Just solve for it. First get the values. Just two values is sufficient. So first it's going to be x and y for both of it. The equation for this box is going to be x minus y is equal to minus 1 and 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. The same equation I have written it on two different that is LHS and RHS. Just a constant I have shifted to the left hand side. So first, suppose if I put value of x is equal to 0 over here, suppose that is x minus y is equal to minus 1. I have put the value of x as 0. 0 minus y is equal to minus 1. Minus and minus gets cancelled. Therefore, the value of y is going to be equal to 1. Right. Similarly, if I put the value of y is going to be equal to 0, what is the value of x is I will be getting? Suppose y is equal to 0 is what I have put. X minus 0 is equal to minus 1. X is going to be equal to minus 1. So if I put for x as 0, I'll be getting 1. Similarly, if y is 0, x is equal to minus 1. This is sufficient for us. So now over here, if I put x is equal to 0 for this equation, so what does it become? Y is equal to 12 upon 2, which is going to be equal to 6. Similarly, y is equal to 0. X is going to be equal to 12 upon 3, which is going to be equal to 4. So now these points you have to plot it on a graph. That is 0, 1, the coordinates are going to be the points 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 0, 6 and 4, 0. These are going to be your points. What does the question tell? Determine the coordinates of vertices of triangle formed. So these 2 points are going to form a triangle and we have to write the vertices. That is, if it is a triangle, you will be having 3 different vertices. So we have to write the vertices, the coordinates of the vertices of these triangle which is going to form when we are going to plot a triangle. When we are plotting the graph, we'll be getting a triangle. That is what we have to show. 0, 1 and minus 1, 0. So 0, I have 0 over here. 0, 1 which is going to fall over here. 0, 1. And then the other point was minus 1, 0. So minus 1, 0. This is what the point which I will be having. So suppose when I just draw the line for this, what is the line it is going to form? So this is going to be my line for the first equation. Similarly, when I am just drawing the line for the point for second equation, that is going to be 0, 6 and 4, 0. 0, 6. So 0, 6, my point is going to be here, and 4, 0 is my second point. So 4, 0. This is going to be my next point, 4, 0, and over here it is 0, 6. Right. So now when I just draw a line for these two which is going to intersect, not exactly, but when you just plot in a graph, these are the points which you will be getting. So over here, what is that they have asked? Shade a part which is triangle first. So this is going to be my triangle. That is over here. So you have to write the vertices of the triangle. So what are the vertices of a triangle? 0, minus 1, 0. Minus 1, 0, this is my first point. So we will name this as A. Minus 1, 0. I'm naming this as A. The next point, this is the point which you will be getting. So over here you would exactly get 3, 2 is what I'm supposing. So 3, 2 as point B. When you are plotting on a graph, you will be getting exact point. So over here the other point is going to be 4, 0. So they asked us to find out the point. So this is going to be my point B, and here it is going to be my point C. So they asked us to find out the vertices of a triangle. So when I am plotting as a vertices of a triangle, these are going to be my 3 different ones. So this either you can get for 3 marker, or you can either get it as a 5 marker also. Right. Also name this equation. So this was my first equation. On this line, just write whatever the equation it was. That is, write it as x minus y. X minus y is equal to minus 1. Similarly, on this line, you just mention which equation this line is representing. Clear? We'll see further few more questions.